You're listening to the Spark Radio Network, internet radio like you've never heard before. Innovation, creativity, and imagination are all said to begin with a spark. So fasten your seatbelt and take the ride of your life and listen for the spark.
Is debt beating you down? You need discipline. You need the Debt Ninja. If you've been caught in a financial trap and need to be set free, then you need the Debt Ninja. Want to stop those harassing collection calls, start saving thousands in interest and fees, and get out of debt fast? Then you need to call the Debt Ninja. The Debt Ninja will find the best companies across the country that will help you consolidate all your bills into one easy payment, reduce your payments by 30 to 50%, and get you out of debt fast. If you have unsecured debt of $10,000 or more, such as credit cards, loans, or medical bills, call the Debt Ninja for a free 15-minute consultation.
Call 800-826-1246. 800-826-1246. That's 800-826-1246. Call today.
The Debt Ninja.
All writers are prone to becoming so attached to our characters and stories that we struggle to see why a passage may not be working. It takes another set of eyes to help us nurture our writing into full maturity. At Black Wolf Editorial Services, we strive to enable writers to develop and grow, shaping stories into masterpieces that can stand the test of time. Editing services are provided for all genres and all age categories. Services range from critiques of the short story through to the line edits of the full-length novel and copy editing for those preparing for publication. We also offer assistance on generating a writer's bio for your websites, as well as help with those book blurbs and promotional material. We won't abandon you to the masses. We want to celebrate with you in your successes. Black Wolf Editorial Services, nurturing your writing into maturity. For a full list of services and prices, visit us at blackwolfeditorial.com.
Ah, it's so good to be back in Wen's world. Hello to all my KLRN family. Here we go.
This is Larry WACHS of the world-famous WACHS Modcast, Atlanta's #1 smartphone radio show on iTunes and Google Play. But that's nothing compared to Wen's World.
So what else has been going on? I've been seeing you've been doing a whole lot of live videos on Twitter. I love it. Watching you from Peachtree Corners.
Yeah, that's my series, Peachtree Corners at dusk, Peachtree Corners postgame, Peachtree Corners midday, Peachtree Corners at 3 p.m., whenever I feel like it. So those are fun.
You got something big on the horizon, some Japanese film crew heading your way, right?
Well, I can't reveal details because it's very secret. I don't know. But yes, I've been contacted by the producers of Fuji TV in Japan because for some reason they're doing a documentary on Peachtree Corners in Japan. I don't know. Peachtree Corners seems to be big in Japan. I don't know why.
Wow.
It's kind of like my one film appearance, The Greenskeeper, I heard was big on cable in like the Philippines. And if I ever took a trip to the Philippines, I would be seen as people would want to be around me. I'd be like a De Niro. So for some reason, Peachtree Corners was selected as the subject of a documentary for Fuji TV in Japan. And the producers did a little Google searching, and they found that the WACHS Modcast, Atlanta's #1 smartphone radio show on Google Play and iTunes, was the #1 Peachtree Corners radio show. In fact, probably the only one. No, there's another one. There's another Peachtree Corners podcast. But all they talk about is roads and restaurants and bridges, boring. I talk about the real stuff. And I've really done a good job, apparently, of branding myself as one of Peachtree Corners' most prominent citizens. And it came up in a Google search that I was, and Fuji TV came a calling.
How about that?
Yeah, something else. I don't know what's going to happen, but they're telling me it could be a prank. It could be a Windy City Heat type of prank. I don't know. I don't care. I like the publicity. But the woman, what was her name? Her name was it was a typical Japanese name. Say a Japanese name off the top of your head.
Yushimi.
Yeah, it was Yashimoto. It was, yeah. So you got, I guess Yashimoto is the Smith of Japan. Anyway, a lovely woman based out of Los Angeles calls me up and says, hey, we'd like to interview you about Peachtree Corners. I said, sure. So I guess they said they're coming like November 3rd to Peachtree Corners. And I'm going to be interviewed by like the Mike Wallace of Japan.
Wow.
Can you believe that?
That's huge.
Yeah, I forgot his name. Akira something. Akira, I don't know. Give me a typical Japanese name off the top of your head. Hideki. Yeah, I think his name was Hideki. We'll call him Hideki. Now, she said he was the George Stephanopoulos of Japanese television.
Wow.
My goal is to be big in Japan.
I would love for you to, at some point, visit the Philippines to embrace the love.
Yeah, I'd like to, but it's too dangerous.
Really?
Yeah, Philippines.
What's going on over there?
I know the president is just murdering everybody who he doesn't like.
Oh, that's right, the drug war.
Yeah, the drug. He's killing all the drug, and I don't want to be mistaken because it's like no tolerance. If they even think you're a drug dealer, you get shot in the head. So I don't want to go there. I don't want to go there because I like to, smoke a little weed every now and again. If I have any of that on me, I'm dead. So
right,
I'm out. Yeah, I'd like to be as big as Pink Lady was in Japan back in the 80s, and that's my goal.
And you can get there.
Well, this is the start. You're going to start someplace. Being interviewed by the George Stephanopoulos of Japan on Fuji TV, I think, is a great first step. Tired of the Japanese coming here and taking our jobs. I'm going to go over there and take their jobs. You bet. You bet.
You look really content today.
That's because I'm on medication. But you're right, I am. I'm content.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm happy for you.
I feel good about things.
I'm thankful for that because I love when people are in great moods when they're in studio with the Wens.
What else? You asked me what else is going on?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm going to Arizona Saturday.
Visiting your daughter?
Yeah. I'm going to have fun out there. I always have fun in Arizona. I only go when the weather is perfect because actually in the summer it's terrible. It's like 110 every day.
Mm.
When I go out there, it's going to be in the 90s in October, which is equivalent to our 75.
No humidity out there.
That's
right?
correct.
Cool.
So when it's 90 to 95 out there, that's the perfect weather. Otherwise, it's intolerable.
What's your favorite thing to do out in AZ?
I like to go to In-N-Out Burger. That's one thing. I like to, just the desert atmosphere is calming. I like to take hikes at Camelback Mountain. I like to go to the Talking Stick Resort and throw $100 into a slot machine and see what happens. I like the Wheel of Fortune machine because they scream at you, Wheel of Fortune. And then every once in a while, if it lands on spin, 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 you get to spin the wheel and you're guaranteed to win some money. It's very exciting. You can win anywhere from $25 to $5,000.
Wow.
Yeah, it's very exciting.
So do you solve the puzzle on it? Or
No, it doesn't work like that. It's all geared to the casino.
Okay.
So there's no thinking.
Got you.
They don't want you taking time from pulling that lever, spinning the reels. If you have to solve a puzzle, if there's actually a real thinking component, then it's just time off from gambling.
Right.
Yeah.
So how old's your daughter now?
She's 25. And
wow.
she just moved into a new place with her boyfriend, which I'm very thrilled about. So we're going to buy some housewares and some birth control maybe. I don't know. But I'd like to be a grandfather. I'm looking forward to it. But she's not ready yet. She's not married. She's got to get married first. No bastard waxes. That's how you keep a family together. No bastards. Listen to me, folks. Remember this, especially young girls. No bastards. Once you start having bastards, like you see the bastards, speaking of the NFL, bastards are all over the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Those players with hyphenates on the back of their uniforms, they're bastards.
Rogers Cromartie,
great example. It should say bastard/bastard. You see so many. Abdul Quddus. Who else?
Hayward Bay.
Darius Hayward Bay. Darius Hayward Bastard, it should say.
Safarian Jenkins.
Austin Safarian Jenkins. Why do you think he just got picked up for a DUI? He's got issues because he's a hyphenate bastard.
Dorial Green Beckham.
Another bastard. They're all over the place.
They are prevalent.
I know. Before what year? I mean, before like the Clinton era, we didn't have any hyphenates on the NFL field. There was Joe Montana, Jerry Rice. But now, since the 90s, the age of the bastard.
What do you think about jerseys with senior at the end?
That's a trend. Mohamed Sanu started doing that too, because I guess they're proud that they name their kids after themselves. That's just showing off. That's like saying, not only am I an NFL player, but my sperm is powerful. And there's another one of me out there. So watch out. I think it's very alpha. I like it. A lot of seniors out there. What I don't like is the rookies who are a senior. It's like, no, too early, dude. You got to be, I think, in your fifth year.
Fifth year?
Yeah. Because
Okay.
you're not an old man. Senior also says, like, you're really old. I think it plants a seed of doubt in a lot of general managers' head, and the players are so stupid, they're not very self-aware. So sometimes if I'm a general manager, say, well, Steve Smith Sr., that's old. Because we're used to hearing senior next to an old person's name.
Right.
And, Sammy Davis Jr. made him seem young even when he was an old man because he had the junior next to his name. It's the power of suggestion. And so I think these players are doing themselves a disservice by maybe cutting off 3 years of their career by saying, well, he's a senior. We got to make way for some new players.
That's a good point.
All right. So I get the alpha part of it, but I would say to Steve Smith Sr., knock it off. You're not doing yourself any favors. You're making your 38 years of age seem like you're 50. So I don't know what he's almost at the end of his career, but some of the younger players are doing it too. Like Mohamed Sanu is not old. How old is he? 27?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. Mohamed Sanu Sr.? Now I think you're 45. Automatically. What changed? Last season you were just Mohamed Sanu. Now you're Sanu Sr. What did you age 15 years in one season? That's terrible. So watch out. Careful what you name yourself.
This is Slickery Trigger for Rebel Road Tactical. With proper care and feeding, your pistol will be ready when you need it. There to save your life. Shouldn't your gear be that good? Whether you need a holster for comfortable everyday carry or a tough-as-nails holster for your next training course, Rebel Road Tactical has what you need. Check us out on the web at rebelroadtactical.com.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-516-7602 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-516-7602 to take your call right now. Call 1-800-516-7602. That's 1-800-516-7602. Again, 1-800-516-7602.
Back in When's World with our comedian friend, the one, the only, Mr. Mike Loftus. Welcome back to When's World. How are you, Mike?
I'm good, man. It's good to be back. It's been a while. What have you been doing?
I have been coping with my election stress disorder. How about you?
Oh, I've been coping rather well. The best election ever.
How do you recommend that we cope with this election stress disorder, Mike Loftus?
You got to steer into the curve. I don't want it to end. I really don't want it to end. Every day there's a new batch of WikiLeaks. Every day. It's like Christmas every morning. I don't want it to stop. I can't get enough. There is no wrong direction, my friend. All paths lead to goodness.
All right, so let me follow this yellow brick road. We've heard a lot about Hillary Clinton and all the WikiLeaks and stuff. I felt like last night she made a pretty decent point. And I'm not really involved in this election anymore. I've decided to check out just because of all the nonsense involved. But the first time in a serious election that outside forces have been truly trying to sabotage one particular candidate. And this time, it's the person on the left. So I'm kind of shocked as to why and how all this is going down. What do you think about that?
Your premise, your very question is just what everybody else is saying in the mainstream media. The Russians are trying to rig the election by showing how the Democrats are rigging the election.
Now, you have a great point. I mean, Sanders totally got screwed out of being out on that debate stage with Donald Trump as of late. I really believe that had it been Donald and Bernie, we would be lights out. I think everybody would be invested in this electoral process. What do you think?
Oh, and bring that on too. Here's what I'm saying. Let's keep going. If America wants to try socialism and elect Bernie Sanders, go for it. Go for it. Because it fails everywhere it's been tried. So, like, I'm all for the next thing, right? You can't get back to being awesome until you go through this horrific time. It's like, seriously, it's a Star Wars movie at this point. The evil empire is taking over. They've got to get the Death Star built. They got to start blowing up planets. And then me and my little rebellion buddies will get started. Me and my Han Solo. I'm going to be Luke Skywalker in this analogy, by the way.
Well, if Alderaan represents the establishment, it's definitely getting blown up right now by Donald Trump.
Oh, dude, absolutely. Let him blow it up. Look at what these mooks are doing. Look at what these guys are doing. Like, seriously, these guys. I can't get behind Donald Trump. I can't get behind. Like, why not? Why not? What is he doing that is so out there? He wants to make government smaller. That's crazy. He wants the things to run more efficiently. What? He wants to protect our borders. That's crazy. I can't defend this guy. They are part of the problem, dude, and they got to go. Donald Trump was not my guy at all going in.
Yeah.
But whoa, fella, am I behind him now? If you look at the media, and seriously, and you look at the Podesta emails, this is going to sound like big-time tinfoil hat stuff. But they are. They're covering for Hillary. We have an official state-sponsored candidate with Hillary. The whole thing with Bernie Sanders was a sham. He never had a chance.
Yeah.
So you've got the official state-sponsored candidate being protected by the official state-sponsored media. We are way close to rushing. I don't see how any American cannot vote for Donald Trump.
I was a Gary Johnson guy. He kind of lost me after his second Aleppo moment. And
yeah, that was a drag.
It is a drag because it just really it's disheartening and discouraging because he was my horse in this race, and now
looking back, pardon the interruption.
No problem.
But how bad of a gotcha moment was that? I was watching that when it happened on Morning Joe. They couldn't say, "What do you think about Syria?" They couldn't say, "What are we going to do about Syria?" No, they picked Aleppo for a very good reason. Because they knew there was a really good chance he'd go, whoa, what's Aleppo? Really? Like, come on. I don't even know who Vladimir Putin's right-hand man is, right? But you could easily find out and go up to Hillary and be like, so what should we do about Skuba Brankovic? And she'd be like, who? Really? You don't know who the second most important... It's just, that was horrible, underhanded, gotcha politics, just to try to hurt a third-party candidate.
Yeah, and he's not getting any love other than Facebook Live, doing interviews out there in Vegas from outside the actual debate the night prior to. And he kind of won me back in some ways, the way that he was answering those questions, and the reporter was not cutting any slack, much like Chris Wallace wasn't cutting Hillary Clinton any slack. I was really impressed because, as you said, I think the media has totally endorsed her, and they've been having a tendency to do that for the last 8 years, so it's really no shock. But as an outsider looking in, I'm still one of those people that's like, man, I'm still not ready to hold my nose and pull the lever for DT. It won't be HC for sure. But
see, here's what I don't understand. Honestly, I have friends that are in the same boat that you are.
Yeah.
And is it because he sounds different? Is it because of the crude language? It can't be a policy thing. Nobody was talking about illegal immigration. Now, I know that's an ugly thing to bring up in a lot of circles, but illegal immigration costs us a boatload of money. And people are like, oh, well, they buy stuff and sales tax. It doesn't come close. It doesn't come close to covering the money you put out. I wish we could have open borders and everybody. I wish it was frickin' Shangri-La. It's not. It's not. And that's that thing on the Statue of Liberty, give me your tired, that's not some official motto. That's something that some sculptor put on the base because he thought it sounded cool.
Of course, if you're just joining us, we are with renowned comedian and writer at Flipside Loftus. That's Mike Loftus. Check out his website also, MikeLoftusComedy.com. But getting back to your question that you asked the Wens, I'm just sitting here thinking, why not? Why can't I hold my nose, close my eyes, and push the button? There's something about this guy that I just can't get behind. It's not because I'm in the bag or I watch the news. I don't. I actually produce a show Monday through Friday for 2 hours a day. That's 10 hours a week of pro-Trumpaganda. So I'm in this place where I'm totally exposed to just one side. And so I'm not an MSNBC guy. I'm not CNBC. I'm not anything like Fox News. I literally detach myself. But when I listen to this guy talk, there's something that I just 100% can't get behind. So that's why I'm not going to lean in the direction, well, these are my choices, the lesser of two evils. You got to think about the Supreme Court. You got to, I don't have to do anything.
That's true. You don't. So tell you what, do me a favor. Don't vote.
Well, no, I wouldn't vote for somebody I'm not 100% behind. That's my whole point. But I will vote in the local elections.
There you go. I love it. I love it.
Well, that to me is way more important. I think that's one of the most undercovered areas in this political season. And I think a lot of the media wants us to focus on things that are immediately out of our control, which is that executive branch. Because let's face it, man, we're living more with the decisions of our local leaders than we are of those on the national level. What do you think about that, Mike? I mean, that's legit, right?
Yeah, I mean, I really say it's 50-50. But when you got the president really just doing so many stuff by executive order, and Congress, for whatever reason, isn't stopping him, that's a big problem. And then here's the other big problem we've got. You've got federal regulators just passing these crazy regulations. You've got these little agencies like the EPA and the FDA just passing these regulations. Now, if you violate that regulation, you're in trouble. So that sounds to me like they're passing laws, right? We need a really clear distinction of what's a law and what's a regulation.
Yeah.
Because right now, these federal agencies are out of control, dude. But you got to do stuff locally. Vote for dog catcher. Vote for judge. Vote for your city council people on down the line.
So I know that you are a Donald Trump guy, and that's totally cool, man. Like some of my best friends are Donald Trump people, and I just don't see eye to eye. But I'm glad that we can get together and talk as gentlemen. I mean, not like Hamilton and Burr style either, because a lot of the media has pinned us against each other. And in some regards, let me put on my tinfoil hat and just assert that that's what they want. They've never wanted us to look at the greater good in society and focus on the decent things, the lovely things, the beautiful things that we're, taught to focus on.
My thing is, I'm not so much a Donald Trump guy as I'm an anti-corruption guy. Mm-hmm. There's no way I can vote for that.
Oh, no, I'm totally in the same camp, man. Like, I would never pull the lever for HC. That's just, 100%. I can promise you that. At the same time, I don't want to be pigeonholed. And I know that we do live in a two-party system and everything. Hey, you're red or blue, and there's no in between, really.
Well, here's the way I look at it. And I was saying this on my podcast, The Loftus Party, right? By the way, the Loftus Party podcast, that's a lot of fun. My website, Loftus Party website, is just killer now.
Nice.
But there's a big time libertarian who's a guest on my show quite a bit, and has been co-hosting, and she's just awesome. Listen, I'm all for multiple parties, like third parties. However, I'm not going to start firing up my third party support 2 weeks before it's my last chance to stop Hillary and her massive corruption machine. So listen, on December 20th or November 9th, let's sit down and I will get together with the Gary Johnsons of the world and the Jill Steins, and let's start making our posters now. Let's start thinking about 2020.
Yeah.
However, I got to put out the fire that's in the House, that is Hillary Rodham Clinton, and then I got to start thinking about rebuilding. You've got to have the interest of the American people at heart. That's where it begins and ends with me. Corruption has to go. It's got to go.
Here we are. We're about 2 weeks out from Election Tuesday, and we all know that you want Trump, and I salute you, man. I'm glad that you have your convictions, and I think that's really cool that you're decided at this point. But I'm totally with you on the anti-Clinton thing. I think she's a total cancer, like stage 4. Ready to kill kind of cancer. And, it's a nasty disease, politics, but I'm trying to stay uninfected. I'm in my little bubble here. I got my own little oxygen machine, and it's pretty freaking sweet. You hope Trump wins, but what is your gut telling you? And what do you think is actually going to happen on November 8th?
I think Trump is going to win.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, because I think every day WikiLeaks is going to come out with more stuff. And I think the American people are very smart. And all Donald Trump, and it's very counterintuitive. But he has to kind of lay low and give the media nothing to report but WikiLeaks. Give them nothing else to report. Just stick to his message. Come out and say, "Hey, reporters, good morning. Here's my statement for today. Hillary Clinton's been in government for 35 years, and she hasn't done shit except steal money. Have a good afternoon." Oh, check WikiLeaks.
Mic drop. Boom.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see how it all plays out. We have been with Mike Loftus, who not only is a comedian and a writer, but also a very fantastic guy. You check out his stuff, theloftusparty.com. Connect on Twitter @FlipsideLoftus. And Mike, we were talking a little bit before the interview started about your next thing, which you're working on currently, which is a show called Kevin Can't Wait. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Kevin Can Wait is the new sitcom starring Kevin James, the dude from The King of Queens.
Yeah.
We're on CBS. We're on Monday night, Mondays at 8. We're doing great. It's the #1 new comedy in America.
Very nice.
It's just a fun, funny show. He plays a Long Island police officer who is retired, and he thought retirement was going to be just easy peasy lemon squeezy, and then life always has a way of throwing you a curveball. So it's just a fun, funny show, man. I'm having a blast. So I have to figure out a way to keep this show in its #1 status, and then get my show, The Flip Side with Michael Loftus, get season 3 of that started post-election, because this is where the real work starts. And everybody gets excited about politics right around presidential elections, but I'm going to hold everybody's feet to the fire 24/7.
And of course, everybody can get their daily dose of Mike Loftus at theloftusparty.com, right, Mike?
That is it, man. The daily dose. We got a great one today. We got a great daily dose today. There's all kinds of good stuff.
Hey, can you give us a little teaser?
Right now, I got a girl who blogs, and she's it's a breast cancer awareness blog. It's very funny. Just how to take care of your titties and get a bra that fits. It's hysterical.
Well, I need one of those. I've been eating a lot of salty and sweet, so my B cup has turned into a C cup rapidly. but it's we're getting into sweater season, so I can conceal the breasts a lot easier.
There you go. You can conceal the moobs.
Mike Loftus, always a pleasure to have you in Wentz World, man. Thank you so much for your time. Let's connect soon.
I'll talk to you soon, buddy. All righty.
Take care, man.
Bye.
Bye. You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
Is debt beating you down? You need discipline. You need the Debt Ninja. If you've been caught in a financial trap and need to be set free, then you need the Debt Ninja. Want to stop those harassing collection calls, start saving thousands in interest and fees, and get out of debt fast? Then you need to call the Debt Ninja. The Debt Ninja will find the best companies across the country that will help you consolidate all your bills into one easy payment, reduce your payments by 30 to 50%, and get you out of debt fast. If you have unsecured debt of $10,000 or more, such as credit cards, loans, or medical bills, call the Debt Ninja for a free 15-minute consultation.
Call 800-826-1246. 800-826-1246. That's 800-826-1246. Call today.
The Debt Ninja.
Everybody loves the clown, so why can't you? A clown has feelings too.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Wentz World. On the phone with us now is senior campaign organizer Angela Morabito from standunited.org. Angela, welcome to Wentz World. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me.
So, as many of us know, there have been a ton of clown sightings, and we're not talking about the ones underneath the Golden Arches, but rather the creepy clown craze. And you have a very specific position about this. Fill us in on all the missing pieces with this whole crazy clown phenomena, if you will.
Sure. So the clown sightings started a few weeks ago, and at the time it, kind of made the news as, oh, look at this weird crime that's happening. And then it went viral in the worst way. It's exactly what we don't want to go viral. And they're in 32 states and counting. And while most of them are not harmful, some of them are. Like, there was a jogger who got chased. There was a clown who, brandished a weapon at someone. And these things that are starting off as isolated incidents are popping up all over the country. So whenever a clown threat happens, odds are that it's nothing. But because some of the clowns have, tended toward violence, every police department has to take them seriously.
What's the economic cost to taxpayers? Because, these cops aren't exactly being paid to be clown car patrollers, right?
I don't think my local police budgeted for the clown patrol.
Right.
I'm not positive. Maybe they had some foresight that I didn't. But, while we don't have an exact dollar figure, every cop car, every, police officer who's having to just sit and wait for a clown or respond to someone who's calling and saying, I was chased by a clown, or there's a clown outside my home, or there's a clown outside my school. Every single time that happens, that's one more cop that can't respond to an actual crime. That's one more squad car that's devoted to something that's probably just someone in a mask.
You did mention that there's been several chases, a couple assaults, and there's actually been some surveillance video of clowns on people's porches brandishing knives and such. But if cops are out waiting for clowns, isn't that kind of just something, a profiling of sorts, in your opinion?
I don't think it is, because no one is born a clown. People have to choose to dress like a clown. And if you're a professional clown and you want to perform at kids' birthday parties or you're in a circus, that's entirely its own thing. Those are not the clowns who are making threats, who are standing in the woods, who are trying to give candy to little kids, who are, forcing school shutdowns. So the reaction is big, but I think it has to be because as soon as a clown hurts someone, that's something that didn't have to happen, and it's something that we should not be ignoring. So if someone's dressed up, the difference between a Ronald McDonald, cartoon, kid-friendly clown and a scary clown who's waiting on your porch, no one's going to confuse those two things.
Right. Randy Christensen, the president of the World Clown Association, has completely separated himself and his cause from these people. Quote, whoever is doing this crazy stuff is not a clown. So what kind of parallels, given modern day society, can you draw between the so-called Clown Lives Matter movement and such movements as Black Lives Matter? Or is that too far of a stretch in your opinion?
I think it is too far of a stretch because no one's been murdering clowns. Police have not been violent to clowns. Clowns do not typically feel threatened by police unless they're the bad kind that's, threatening someone outside a home or a school. I don't think that those things run parallel to each other because if you look at Black Lives Matter, they're clearly acting in response to certain incidents. Whether they're reacting properly or not is entirely up for debate, but what they are reacting to is entirely different than what the clowns are doing. They kind of co-opted the name using Clown Lives Matter,
right.
But I think it's two entirely different situations where you really can't draw that parallel.
Before the interview started, I actually said to you, honestly, Angela, I'm not a fan of clowns. I'm not afraid of them, which is also known as coulrophobia. But they somewhat do have a First Amendment, right to express themselves as individuals. In fact, there was a Clown Lives Matter march scheduled for last Saturday that was canceled because of death threats to the organizer, Shelly Gutierrez. Do you think that people perhaps are taking this a little too far? Not from the clown side, but from the people who are hysterical about the possibility of clown attacks?
Sure. Well, anytime someone's making a death threat, the person making that threat has gone too far.
Right.
Whether a clown's involved or not, I think across the board. The whole issue here is people saw a few news stories go viral, then they started mimicking it, then that went viral. Most of them are probably just people who are bored, don't have anything better to do, and figure oh, hey, well, maybe I can, do this and try to at least have some influence, I guess. I don't know what these clowns want from people, but I know what people want is not to be harassed by a clown. And sure, they do have a right to express themselves, but when your self-expression is intimidating to another person, or when your self-expression is trying to grab at a runner or a jogger, or if it's threatening a kid and trying to lure them away from home, that's not self-expression. That's something else. And that's why I think this is outside of First Amendment rights.
In case you're just joining us, we are with senior campaign organizer for StandUnited.org, Mrs. Angela Morabito. And I'm so glad that you mentioned these instances of assault and harassment. You mentioned some school closings. Which states have these school closings taken place in?
Sure. So there was a school district right outside of Cincinnati in Ohio where they shut down 5 schools for a day because there was a clown who made a threat and said that he was going to come to school and harm people, and this was a threat of violence. So they had to shut down those schools for a day. There was a college student in Texas who got grabbed by a clown near her dorm. There was also in Washington State, there were some school closings as well. So, this is something that's continuing. That's just what we've heard of so far. But when it's disrupting someone's education, it's not about how a person who wants to be a clown chooses to dress. It's about what they choose to do and how they act.
Well, you also mentioned some of these clowns luring kids in South Carolina into the woods. How many of these cases have been reported? Are you knowledgeable about that?
Oh, there are really too many to count.
Wow.
I mean, they're popping up all over the place. Midwest had a bunch last week. West Coast has been hit slightly, not as much. New England has had a lot, especially as fall starts to hit and, places are getting darker earlier in the day. The creepy clown thing is, not stopping for certain, to the point where Target has actually pulled some of the clown masks and clown paraphernalia from its shelves. They're saying, we're not going to sell this in stores. We're not going to sell this online.
Well, it's interesting that you did mention that because you're exactly right. They are pulling the clown costumes, even some of the costumes that don't on the surface look threatening. But it's funny to also mention that 239% increase in clown costume sales at Halloween Express. So with that kind of increase, over 200%, what can we anticipate on All Hallows Eve as far as costumes go, clown sightings? How do you think, in your opinion, this is going to kind of hash itself out on Halloween?
Sure. So I think a lot of this is happening because of the run-up to Halloween, where people think of, the entertainment value of scaring people and being scared.
Right.
A scary costume on Halloween is okay. If you want to do gruesome makeup or whatever, I don't think we should stop you. People absolutely have the right to do that. But when a person is, maybe not handing out candy to their neighborhood kids, but following neighborhood kids or lurking by a sidewalk, that's the problem. So dumb crime happens all the time, especially around Halloween. People will do pranks that go wrong. People will have costumes that offend others for reasons that might or might not be valid. There's no real way to tell what's going to happen with all of those, immense number of clown masks that were sold. But as long as people play nice, you're fine. Again, I don't think it's about what you're wearing. I think it's about what you're doing.
Well, what do you personally anticipate? Do you think that there's going to be a whole lot of people calling the cops because they see maybe a stray clown walking around the neighborhood?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if the clown is a kid and wants to go to door-to-door trick-or-treating, that's fine. If the scary clown is in a haunted house where scary belongs, just keep it there. Then that's fine. I think there's a total difference between normal Halloween activity and actively trying to grab at people or chase them or harm them in some way. And that's a crime no matter what your costume is. All I know is that if I go home today and there is a clown on my front porch, I have to move. It's the clown's house now. He can have it. That's scary. That's not a joke when someone's invading your personal space like that. But if you know the person who's under the mask and you know that they don't have any bad intentions, then they should be fine. Then, of course, don't call the cops. You can't call the cops because you saw someone dressed in a scary costume.
Right.
You can call the cops because you saw someone doing something harmful, doing something threatening, doing something that, disturbs regular people going about their lives.
Now, you mentioned the role of social media with this whole thing, and a lot of people, I guess, grouping together as scary clowns and going out and kind of wreaking havoc in neighborhoods and scaring people, which is obviously not cool. But you guys at Stand United are also taking the role and using social media to fire back in some capacity. Can you go over what you're doing with that, Angela?
Right. So all across social media, there are accounts on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, where the name will be something like frightening clown or, menacing clown or clown menace. Those are just examples. Don't go look them up. We don't want them to have any extra page views. But there are accounts similar to those that will post threats that might mention a neighborhood. It might mention a school, might mention something else. And if you live in that area, of course you're going to share it. Of course you're going to say, look at this. Oh, wow, I'm going to be on guard for a clown tomorrow or whenever the threat was made for. So without social media, the clowns can still stand there. They could still do that, but they don't really have a fast way to spread threats. So the petition on Stand United is asking the social media sites to take down the menacing clown accounts. If someone's business is that they are a clown for entertainment and they're the totally legit good kind of clown, this petition has absolutely nothing to do with them. This petition has about everything to do with the people who are pulling on creepy clown masks and threatening communities because they want to see what kind of reaction they can get.
Right.
So we have quite a few signers so far. We have 674 supporters and counting. You can sign it on standunited.org. And all it does is ask the sites to remove those, menacing accounts. And in cases where it's necessary, report them to local law enforcement.
That's such good stuff. And in case you're just joining us, we have been with senior campaign organizer Angela Morabito, standunited.org. Of course, you can keep the conversation rolling and going on Twitter at standunited.org or follow Angela personally at Bear to the Right. Angela, this has been one of the strangest interviews I've ever conducted because the topic itself is so odd. But with that said, tell us more about standunited.org.
Stand United is for everything. I know this is one specific kind of weird petition about a funky topic, but we take petitions from everyone as long as they are within our guidelines of being a good internet citizen. And we get petitions on everything from the election to Halloween stuff to things going on in schools to the NFL. So we see all kinds of issues, and I'm glad I was able to come on and talk about this specific kind of oddball one today.
Angela, thank you so much for your time today. Again, connect with Stand United on Twitter at standunited.org and Angela herself at Bear, the number 2, the Right. Thank you again, Angela. We appreciate your time in Wins World.
Thank you very much.
This is Slickery Trigger for Rebel Road Tactical. With proper care and feeding, your pistol will be ready when you need it, there to save your life. Shouldn't your gear be that good? Whether you need a holster for comfortable everyday carry or a tough-as-nails holster for your next training course, Rebel Road Tactical has what you need. Check us out on the web at rebelroadtactical.com.
This is Larry WACHS of the world-famous WACHS Modcast, Atlanta's #1 smartphone radio show on iTunes and Google Play. But that's nothing compared to When's World.
I've been feeling pretty good as of late. Got a baby on the way.
Right. How's the baby going?
Great. November 9th is the due date.
Your baby's going to be born on Election Day.
Yeah. So right around there.
Wow. What an historic baby. What are you going to name him?
My wife asked me if I wanted to continue the Joseph Raymond, because I'm a second, and make the third.
You're Joseph Raymond Wensler II.
Yes.
And so you went to Joseph Raymond Wensler III.
No, I didn't want that. She asked me if I wanted that.
You did not?
I did not.
Why is that?
I want to start a new brand. Just like we changed working title with the Wens to Wens World.
Yeah.
I want to start a new legacy for my young man. I wanted him to solidify his own legacy.
I see.
And not live off my coattails. Just like your daughter, when she names her son, you probably don't want Larry, right?
No, I do.
You do?
Yeah, why not?
Well, I don't know. It's just an idea.
I'm great. Why wouldn't any kid want that name?
Well, you are great, but that doesn't mean he's going to be great. He has a lot to live up to.
It's a step up. Yeah, it's an incentive. Yeah.
I was actually leaning toward the name Carson Wentz, but she said, look, it's too early. I know we're doing well right now with the Eagles, but what if he gets traded? What if he gets hurt? I don't think he's going to get hurt or traded. I think this guy is the savior of the Philadelphia Eagles. But she said, well, maybe next time. Let's think about that for child number 2.
Carson Wensler.
I mean, does it get better?
I think that's pretty cool.
I think it would be awesome.
I don't know what he's going to do for the Eagles. I don't know if he's going to be with the Eagles. I don't know how long his career, but there's nothing wrong with that. think it's pretty funny.
It would be cool.
Yeah. You got to think down the line, though. Anytime you name a kid that's kind of has a gimmick to it, you got to think down the line how it's going to play out.
Right. Like whoever named their son Millie after Millie Vanilli or something is probably regretting that decision right now. I don't know how that would work out.
You never know. That's the thing.
Yeah.
There's sometimes you do, like if you named, name your kid Cayman Wentzler. That's kind of, you're setting him up for a lot of jokes in the future. But if you just take a gamble on Carson Wentzler, you don't know how that's going to go. Like, for instance, my grandfather was a Jewish guy named Adolf in the 30s. He was born in 1919. And in 1919, nobody knew who Adolf Hitler was. None of the Jews knew. He wasn't a factor. So his parents went ahead and said, yeah, Adolf, that's a cool name for our son, Adolf Wax. And so what happens is Adolf Wax, he moves to America in the 30s, and then boom, everybody in America hates Hitler. Everybody in America hates Hitler. And he's a Jew named Adolf in America when anything having to do with Hitler is, we hate it. Boy, that's why he was so grouchy to me all the time. I said to him, Grandpa, all you had to do is change your name to Samuel or some. Get rid of the Adolf. That's your problem.
Yeah, a little Old Testament name or something like that.
Yeah.
Samuel.
Right.
That's a good solid
Jacob.
Jew name. Sure.
Yeah. Abraham. Be Abraham Wax. Abe Wax. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Lincoln was popular here. Go with it. But he's stuck with Adolf, and he just thought he could ride it out, I guess. But turned out to be wrong.
Well, it's funny when you think about names in the NFL. We were talking about hyphenated names, but what about the parents that name their kids Christine Michael, or their first name is Ashley? They have a lot to overcome in the early going.
Yeah, Kristen Michael of the Seattle Seahawks. I don't get it. It's worked out. Maybe it spurred him to work harder. He's an NFL player despite having a girl's name. It's like Dominique Wilkins. He made it to the Hall of Fame. He's got a girl's name.
Yep.
So I guess maybe it incentivized him to overcompensate. I'm going to be a super athlete. So anybody who wants to make fun of my girl's name is going to have a lot to answer for.
Well, I'm sure there were lots of fights at the bus stop.
Yeah, I'm sure he got his kicked, Kristen Michael.
And now he's kicking
Guy's name Ashley, it's not as bad, because that could go either way.
That's true.
It's not the best name, but I can see it. But a guy named Kristen, come on.
You're listening to the Spark Radio Network, internet radio like you've never heard before. Innovation, creativity, and imagination are all said to begin with a spark. So fasten your seatbelt and take the ride of your life and listen for the spark.
All writers are prone to becoming so attached to our characters and stories that we struggle to see why a passage may not be working. It takes another set of eyes to help us nurture our writing into full maturity. At Black Wolf Editorial Services, we strive to enable writers to develop and grow, shaping stories into masterpieces that can stand the test of time. Editing services are provided for all genres and all age categories. Services range from critiques of the short story through to line edits of the full-length novel and copy editing for those preparing for publication. We also offer assistance on generating a writer's bio for your website, as well as help with those book blurbs and promotional material. We won't abandon you to the masses. We want to celebrate with you in your successes. Black Wolf Editorial Services, nurturing your writing into maturity. For a full list of services and prices, visit us at blackwolfeditorial.com.
Ladies and gentlemen,
this is your male soap opera moment.
Goldberg!
Indeed, the long-awaited return of the male soap opera moment right here in When's World.
Mammoth.
And of course, the heckler that is the one and only Rags to Riches at Shamso84 on Twitter. And it is an absolute honor.
She's got the bell over there and everything. She's already set up.
Bell of life.
It is an absolute honor to mention that we have a stray voice who shall no longer remain stray. He has a home here.
Home in Wyn's World.
Can we call him the Bean?
Are you
she
okay
just
with
found
that?
out this morning my last name is Bean.
The Bean.
B-E-A-N, Bean.
I like the Bean. The Bean.
Bean. That deserves a bell.
Hey, I thought about that when I was a kid, about trying to become a wrestler and be something like a bean, but
That's unfortunate.
Alas, I ended up on radio.
And here we are.
Unfortunate.
Shamso, what have you been up to? I feel like I haven't seen you in like a month and a half.
Well, that's a lie. Well, I haven't had lunch yet, so there's that.
That's the crowd cheering for your lunch options today. What are we doing? Shake Shack or what?
Too expensive. No. Kids meal at Brio.
Kids meal at Brio.
I'm saying adult food for cheaper prices. I'm just saying.
At Shamso84, the Bean. The
at
newest
Nick Bean _radio.
At Nick Bean. He has a first name. But
yeah, Nick.
Keep it to yourselves because we don't want to ruin his identity.
Okay.
He's white, y'all.
Okay. You couldn't tell by his voice.
And the thing is, there are some people listening going, wow.
It was all the N-bombs he was dropping that threw you off, wasn't it?
And he's from Douglasville.
I'm not from Douglasville.
Okay, Ackworth.
Gee, yeah, it's maybe I want to be from Douglasville.
Well, speaking of homegrown people,
yeah,
the return of Bill Goldberg. Yes, Bill Goldberg, ladies and gentlemen.
Deserve a clap.
Yes, back to the WWE,
12
taking
years.
on 12 years absence, taking on Brock Lesnar at Hell in a Cell, guys. This is exciting to me.
They're running out of people to fight Brock Lesnar. That's what it is. So they're bringing back all the oldies. Everybody he's ever fought before in the past is coming back.
Who's replacing Undertaker? That's the question.
Oh, poor guy. He's like on crutches.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know.
It's bad.
Nick, we were talking before Rags to Riches Raggy got in the studio, and give us a little bit of background here. All the
have 5 minutes.
the
We don't have time for
maniacs
that.
out there are wondering, where did this Bean guy come from? So if you could, just give us your complete bio in about 1 minute.
Okay.
Go.
Grew up OTP, North OTP. I've lived North OTP, and I have a family at home, and I do radio here at Salem. I mean, that's it. You want a quick rundown? That's me.
That's all we got.
I'm an Atlanta fan with everything. That's why Bill
unfortunate.
Goldberg is near and dear to my heart. So when I heard he was coming back, I was like, yeah, Bill Goldberg, amazing. Who's next? You know, that's what I was ready for. And I don't know how to feel about this upcoming situation, so.
Well, look, let's break it down.
He's 50, man.
Yep.
They are all old,
Well, Lesnar is only 39.
but he's got the body of a 90-year-old.
Yeah, I mean, you know.
The insides, probably not the outsides.
Well, I
Did
don't
you
know.
see his ear?
Oh, that ear is just
Gross.
disgusting.
All right, we got 4 minutes.
It's like that microwave bag of cauliflower that got left at the register because somebody changed their mind last minute.
Oh, God.
And it sits up there till the end of the cashier's shift. I digress. Hell in a Cell, Brock Lesnar and Bill Goldberg. I can't believe this match is happening, and Goldberg was able to come to the ring and talk about the challenge that was initiated.
Watch it.
Well, here we go. Now you can listen to it.
Brock Lesnar challenged me to a fight, but he didn't have the balls to do it himself. He made Paul Heyman, his fat little stooge, do it for him.
Classic.
Good.
Yes.
Classic Goldberg.
And
He's
you know
lost
what?
A lot of weight.
He looks good. He looks really good. He doesn't look, 12 years older. Some of these guys just don't age.
I know.
Like Jimmy Wang Yang.
I know.
He looks like a spring chicken all
He's
over
got
again.
like a party bus
It's the redneck party bus.
It is.
in like Iowa or something.
It's great. I love it. I miss Jimmy Wang Yang. He was great. Of course, this matchup means two things, Shamso.
Not only does that mean that you're next, but most importantly, it means Brock Lesnar, you're last.
Ooh.
That's serious.
This is going to be Hell in a Cell.
I'm saying that's worth $9.99 on the WWE network. I'm just saying.
It's good old-fashioned goosebumps happening in the studio right now.
It's a little warm in here, too.
Nick, when I looked over at you, it's almost like a tear came to your eye when you heard that voice.
Dude, it's Goldberg, man. That's what got me into wrestling back in the day, because it was like, who's this silent nobody who's just going out there and slamming people into the mat?
173-0.
Yeah, it was amazing. And then the whole Kevin Nash thing, but let's not talk about that. Anyway, but yeah, I'm interested to see what this is going to be. Him and Brock Lesnar. I think you're right, though, Sham. So, are you guys kind of running out of folks? Are we going to start pulling back dudes from, is Ric Flair going to get back in the ring at this point?
No.
I don't know.
I think he's done. I think Rick is done.
I wouldn't put anything past him so long as it comes with a paycheck attached, though.
Well, from a fan's point of view, this match is clearly a card filler. And look, Brock Lesnar is so part-time. And I really sincerely wish that Lesnar would get more mic time and more ring time. And I know his contract is all weird. It's like one appearance a month, if that. But he is the tornado. I mean, he sells the F5. It's legit. And from a fan's point of view, I hope this match doesn't disappoint, but I'm kind of concerned because Goldberg hasn't exactly been in ring doing his thing for over a decade.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I guess once you got it, you got it. Goldberg is still in shape. He didn't lose his edge. So just because he just left wrestling and went straight to movies or whatever else he's doing, cars or whatever, I think it's going to be a really good match. And I'm looking forward to watching it. I'm just saying, look at Shane. Shane fell off the bandwagon, 10 years or so, and had that really good match with The Undertaker. I mean, he lost, but still, it was
Undertaker
a good match.
should have taken that bump from on top of the cage. He rolled out way too early.
Do you think Undertaker is coming back for WrestleMania?
No, and that's why they're bringing Goldberg back. I know
think he's going to come back one more match, and then he's going to be done.
They're going to use
Hall of
this
Fame 2018.
Right, he deserves it. I mean, Bill Goldberg, one-time heavyweight champ in WWE, two-time U.S. heavyweight champion in WCW, 173-0. Nick Bean. I mean, this is exciting times, man.
It is. I don't know. I think maybe it's just more of a pull to try and bring some of the older fans back.
All right, so let's get to the end here. Final predictions.
Okay.
Brock Lesnar, the only person to have won a WWE championship, UFC championship, and NCAA championship, taking on Mr. Who's Next. Gut feeling, Mr. Bean, go.
Oh, Goldberg's going to win. He's got to. I know that it'll be a one and done for him, but I mean, come on. I think so many people are on the Goldberg train than the Lesnar train. Some people are sick of Lesnar, even to this day. It's Goldberg all the way.
I'm sure Paul Heyman is sick of him too. I think Lesnar is going to take it. I love Goldberg, but Lesnar has just been proving some points. I mean, dude, I got to go with Lesnar. That's all I got.
It's going to be like the best of 7 between Cesaro and Sheamus.
Cesaro.
Terrible. He is the king of swing, though.
Oh, it was just to throw this out there. Congratulations to Nick and Daniel Bryan. They're having a little girl.
Aww.
I know.
Yes. That's awesome news. But I think this is going to be a 3-time thing. I think they're going to have a best of 3 because Goldberg wins this one. Lesnar says, Lesnar wins round 2, and then round 3, I think it's going to go to Lesnar, and he'll emerge as that maybe twice-a-month superstar that he should be, man.
The last match will probably be at WrestleMania.
Wait, that's in March or April, so we have several months till then. So that makes complete sense.
With these brands, now, it's like, what are they going to do for the Royal Rumble with these 2 different brands and 2 different titles?
That's a great question. That's a great
Maybe
question.
they'll have 2 Royal Rumbles.
Won't be as royal if there are 2 of them, though.
No, just be a Rumble.
It'll be like Rumble of Serfs.
The regular Rumble.
You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control over your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank account, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problems now by calling the experts at Tax Mediation Services and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. Tax Mediation Services is accredited by the Better Business Bureau. Call now for a free case review and a price protection guaranteed quote.
Call Tax Mediation Services now at 800-610-9050. That's 800-610-9050. 800-610-9050.
Is debt beating you down? You need discipline. You need the Debt Ninja. If you've been caught in a financial trap and need to be set free, then you need the Debt Ninja. Want to stop those harassing collection calls, start saving thousands in interest and fees, and get out of debt fast? Then you need to call the Debt Ninja. The Debt Ninja will find the best companies across the country that will help you consolidate all your bills into one easy payment, reduce your payments by 30 to 50%, and get you out of debt fast. If you have unsecured debt of $10,000 or more, such as credit cards, loans, or medical bills, call the Debt Ninja for a free 15-minute consultation.
Call 800-826-1246. 800-826-1246. That's 800-826-1246. Call today.
The Debt Ninja.
Hey, this is the Deeds, the sales energizer. And like you, I'm in Wayne's World. It's a frightening place, but we're here. This is what I want you to do. Listen to the show, the whole show. And then when you're done, go to my website, remedysalesmatch.com. Fill out the subscription form for the newsletter, and I will send you a free book that's going to change your life. The Hitchhiker's Guide to Guaranteed Success. Do it after the show.